welcome to Unpacked. My name's Alyvia, and today I have my uncle, Marquis Flemings. So we're going to be talking about the difference between private and public schools. So my first question for you is, how did you start a private school?
That's a big question. How did I start a private school? Um, it was a lot. It was a lot of work starting a private school, but basically, a lot of paperwork, a lot of finding out finding out the rules to become a school. So once that stuff was done, then it's just basically going out and looking for kids. But a lot of kids had already came to me beforehand and asked me to start. So that's pretty much how we took it and started running.
So how long did the process take?
The process took probably about a year. Probably about a year. So from starting a 501c3, a nonprofit, and then finding out the rules for having a private school in South Carolina, that whole process took about a year.
So this was before COVID?
This was before COVID.
Okay.
So we started in 2019. Our first school year, come February, that's when COVID hit. The beautiful part was that most of our stuff was already online. One of my degrees is education and technology, so I was big into technology, so we didn't miss a beat. So it was pretty cool.
That's cool. So did you work for Greenville County Schools?
I did. So yeah. So I got an education in '08. So I know that was a long time for some people, but I got an education in '08. I've taught in private and public school, and I was administrator at a public school before I decided to switch over to a private school.
Okay, so I know that you're not the only one that helped build the school.
Yeah.
So I know Mr. Robert, he's part of that.
Yeah.
How did he?
Yeah, so I call him my business partner. So yeah, he helped me out a lot. So we focus on mentorship. When I was in the public school, I really felt like the piece that was missing was mentorship during school. So Robert had already had a kind of a little mentoring program that he wanted to develop, and so we just kind of put it together into private school. So our kind of motto is we use a mentoring approach to education. So they got a lot of mentoring during school hours. So it's pretty cool. It works well.
Okay, so how did the funds come about?
How did the funds come about?
Yes, because I know
so now there's no funds out there. No, so you're basically talking about capital. How do we get capital? So being a nonprofit, so we are a nonprofit private school. So that means that people can donate and write it off on taxes. So basically, it's a lot of going out asking for donations and stuff like that, or getting grants. But it's we also had a lot of people that were supporting us. Basically, the church that we're located out of, we kind of rent space from. They've been a great partner, and so we kind of work with them. They really helped us out. But yeah, a lot of people within the community felt like that this was something that was needed, and they donated their funds and got us up and running.
That's cool. So I know with the location is at a church.
Yeah.
So how did you get permission to
so
come to the church?
it's crazy because at the time, like I said, I was administrator of a school. My secretary, she went to this church, and I told her my idea, and she got me in touch with the pastor. And so me and him sat down and talked, and I was just talking to him, letting him know my idea. And he was like, yo, we're not doing anything in the church during this time. So if you guys want to use the facility, we can come up with something, and we'll allow you guys to use the facility. So that's how we've had found a facility. So it was pretty cool. It was, everything just fell in place pretty cool.
So with the private school, you have to build your own curriculum?
Yeah, so, like I said, I do a lot of educational technology stuff. So what we did was we found different curriculums within the educational technology, on educational technology platforms, and we kind of developed our curriculum that way.
Okay, and what grade levels?
So we do middle school. So we have a two-parter. We have a private middle school. So that's all of us. That's, we're the teachers, we're the administrator, we're everything. And then we also have a high school learning program. So that is through an online charter school. So like I said, I sit on the board of this charter school. So that's the cool part. But at the same, so I have private school, charter school, and public school experience. And so we are able to get we've had high school kids that come through there and graduate. As you know, the Greenville County Virtual Schools, we work with them as well. So, anytime that a kid that has problems, it can be health or anything, and they need a virtual environment, we're there to assist them in high school. But middle school, that's all our private school stuff.
Okay, and so what about hiring like teachers and everything? 'Cause I know it's only you and Uncle Robert. So.
Yeah. So the thing is with hiring teachers is that we're big on understanding that when it comes to teaching, you're not only a teacher, but you're a mentor as well. Because we want them to understand that, like, these kids, some of our kids might have some trauma in the past that they've experienced. And also we want to be more than just educators. We want to be role models for the kids. So there's life experiences that we want to teach them, not only academically, but we want them to grow personally as well.
And so say a student from a public school comes to your private school, what happens if they have like accommodations? Will it transfer onto the private
That's
school?
the beautiful part about being a private school versus a public school. Some public schools are so big that they can only do so much. And I'm not knocking the public school because I'm a firm believer that public schools have their place. But being a private school is that we're so small that we can accommodate any needs that most kids need. And that can be, if it's personal needs or if it's learning differences. So, whatever they need, we can kind of accommodate because we are smaller. We have a 1-to-8 ratio. You got to think, in South Carolina, there are over 1,300 public schools. There are 700 private schools. And the average size of a private school is about 150 kids. So that's from first grade to 12th grade. So, it's a lot smaller. The ratios at private schools are much smaller, which allows us to accommodate needs that sometimes public schools can't accommodate.
And that's one thing I did like about coming to B.E.S.T Skills is that when I was in the public school, it was hard to always get the teacher's attention. But when I was at B.E.S.T Skills, you and Uncle Robert, y'all was always there, had questions. Y'all was there, and y'all did accommodate me, and I really do appreciate that. So what has been the best part running the
Running a private school, the best part is the kids, man. Every day I'm ready to go to work, to play around, like I always tell the kids, we love hard, but we are hard. We hard on you, but we love hard. So, we play around with the kids at the same time, teaching them life skills. We teach anything from, hygiene to personal finance to, hey, like, why you can't be horse playing, So, I just love being around the kids. I really feel like they kind of keep me young. I learn new lingo, new dances, new, all that stuff. So I just like being around the kids.
So the name, B.E.S.T Skills Academy.
Oh man, the name.
Where did that come
Where did
from?
I get that from? So I wanted to focus on 4 major things. And so it's kind of an acronym. So as I wanted to teach kids behavioral skills, educational skills, social skills, and transitional skills. So, that kind of makes B.E.S.T. What was I a little cocky with the B.E.S.T? Maybe, but sometimes it's like, yo, am I the best? I might be, so just a little arrogance.
I didn't really think about it like that.
Yeah.
So do you think in the future there's going to be a mascot for B.E.S.T?
Maybe in the future. I'm not sure what it would be. I don't know. We would have to. That's something I'll let the students do, and decide. What they think the mascot might be. I probably will play a role in that. Because I have what in my head what I want, but at the same time,
What's in your head?
What's in my head? So my favorite animal is a silverback gorilla.
Okay.
So, maybe something down that road, but then at the same time, I don't know, whatever the kids, And then we also have a board, so I have to, it has to be passed by the board, so.
Oh. Any advice for someone who wants to start their own private school?
Yo, I think this is not only just someone who wants to start their own private school, but someone just a life in general kind of advice. Find mentors. Find somebody that's already been there, done that, and be able to take criticism, evaluate it, and see if it's true about yourself and what are you doing. And so I'm really big on mentorship for myself and for others. So just finding a mentor that can kind of guide you through the process.
So my follow-up question is, who was your mentor?
I have a lot of mentors. It depends on which facet of life you're talking about. We talked about Sean Dogan, so that's the pastor at the church. He's pretty cool. He's a mentor. I have family members that are mentors. So it depends on which facet of my life you're talking about.
Well, that's all the questions that I have for you today.
Well, I appreciate
Thank you
it.
for coming
Hey,
on.
thank you guys
and
for having me.
Thank you.